I am Vincent Schilling, Indian Country Today Media Network's Man on the Street. I am here at the National Museum of the American Indian in Washington, D.C., and I am asking people what they think they're going to see when they go into the National Museum of the American Indian and what they actually saw when they come back out. We're interested to see what their responses will be after actually having been there. So let's check it out. John, what do you expect to see at the National Museum of American Indian?
Range. I really want to see the breadth of American Indian culture. I want to see different things, not stereotypes.
What do you think's going to be in there?
I think they're going to be a set of displays about the different parts of culture, probably working from east to west, if I could do that. I think it's going to be more focused on not the history so much as what, this sounds odd to say not the history, but what was, how they actually lived, rather than the political history, shall I say, about how it all ended and how badly it happened.
How many people do you think come in here and think they're just going to see a lot of Native American headdresses or moccasins type of
I
thing?
guess it would be the majority. If I had to guess, maybe 60 or 70%, something like that.
I think you're right. Now, you've never been here before. What do you expect to see?
Well, I expect to see a lot of cool artifacts. I expect to learn a lot of history and heritage, and I just think it's going to be really interesting.
Okay, and I'm just curious if you might have something specific like you think that's going to be more so of one thing than the other.
I think I want to learn what differentiates between different tribes is one of the things I'm interested in learning about.
Okay, gentlemen, on your way into the National Museum of the American Indian, and you haven't been here before, so I'm curious. I'm a journalist from Indian Country Today. We're just asking, what do you expect to see when you go into the museum today?
The culture of the Indian folks and how they progressed over the years and what they brought heritage-wise.
Okay. Any specific things you expect to see particular?
I'd like to see the costumes and the bright colors and the tools they used.
I want to see the technology that the Native Americans tried to use throughout history. I have a feeling we don't get talked about that much very much, you know. We kind of skip over it in class a lot.
Interesting. And you, sir, what do you expect?
Yeah, I'm a teacher from Massachusetts, and I found 3 inscribed stones with Old World inscriptions on them. And it led me to 10 years of research and linguistically to links of Old World Europe and petroglyphs found across the country, which totally blow that Columbus was the first here in 1492. But yeah, so I'm coming here obviously with an interest of anything I can learn in novels in my research. I'd like to incorporate and go forward with it.
I was able to go through the contemporary art. That was very interesting to me. I did find some games on the second floor. It talks about the history of lacrosse and a few other
yes, lacrosse
activities. I know, I like that. And was very intrigued by the boats on the first floor and the caricatures of animals.
Any surprises?
No.
What'd you think?
I think it was pretty interesting, just seeing how it all develops, you know. I mean, when you're out there in the wilderness and you really got nothing else to do, you either figure out how to live or, you just get to starving. So just seeing them work with bones, rocks, sticks to get, their food, their shelter, their weapons, which is pretty ingenious, pretty amazing.
Right. And you, sir?
Well, again, I liked a lot of the artwork and the clothing work, and it's amazing how they meticulous and accurate it is. Even back then, stuff I can't do today.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean the beadwork, and then the other thing I found interesting is how things are similar across the world. So either, as humans we think the same, or there's some kind of connection at some point.
I noticed you just said something that was kind of nice. Before you walked in, you said costume, and now you just said clothing.
Sorry. Yeah. It's usually more the ordinary. I'm sure they didn't wear the best clothes like we don't do every day, but.
All right. So what you think?
Well, I was very impressed with the variety and diversity of tribes. Well, when you were covering from the North Pole on down to Tierra del Fuego, I thought it would be more North American or Central American centric, but it really covered a wide range. And I've seen the different artifacts, the weavings, the carvings, the day-to-day utensils that were created of natural material. It's really impressive. And personally, I'd like to go back to that state rather than the materialistic world where we try to buy stuff to fill a void that can't be bought with bling.
So, any surprises, even though you've been here before?
Yeah, plenty of surprises. It's an emotional experience. I really enjoyed the opening theater, and I think this music was even playing. The sense of difference among the group, and I fear that a lot of people who look like me think of Indians in one small set. And the breadth, the range, the 2,000 languages in the Americas, that's a staggering number. It's an amazing, and the way the museum presents, there's a connection, but there's all this difference.